Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the new 365 Healthy by Choice Immune lecture series. We are moving ahead. We're having many trainings on the new time crystal, and all the webinars are on the Jane McKenzie YouTube. Thank goodness, because otherwise a lot of them would have been lost and gone down with Desi's the YouTube. And so all the trainings are there on the time crystal, as well as we now have two new Omnis software trainings. So Desi just called in, and we will be moving the Omnis training from this evening to tomorrow evening, which is Thursday. It'll be at 7 p.m. And it'll be about half an hour or so on Omnis training this evening. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it. So we'll just do the time crystal device today. And if there are any questions or anything, I'm available here to assist you on any level. And then what I thought I would just do, for those of you who are here, let's just do a recap on when we launched the time crystal and the information pertaining to that regarding scalar wave, sustained scalar wave, and the present, the past, and the future space of expanded time and space that the time crystal gives us. So, I mean, many of you I see listening in who actually do wear the time crystal, and many of us have got lots of things to share regarding this as well. And as I said, we're busy putting a journal together with all the people's feedback, and it's just interesting as well as you move into newer spaces with the time crystal, and different things start appearing, and the most marked effect is the beginning when you detox, and the dreams that you're not used to become far more vivid, far more real, and you can actually feel yourself piecing together the past decisions, past events, past emotions, and then you also feel yourself diving straight into the future and seeing visually different scenarios about your work, about your family, about life, about the world, if you like, and it gives one lots of insight and the ability to make more intelligent decisions. And I think this is most important today, and we need this more than ever before, due to the density of the distortion, the deception out there. Something specifically set out to distract us. And try to call it, from my point of view, that's just been amazing. The expanded experience and dimension of time and space is something else as well, and very hard to explain. And I think quite difficult for other people working with you to kind of really get onto that level, obviously. But I do believe that the people working with you and in your space, in the scalar space, will automatically and are already influenced by the scalar wave. And also, more importantly, for the practitioners out there, I'm hanging the time crystal devices in my practice rooms, in the chronic disease clinic, the drip clinic as well, and we're getting enhanced and quicker health improvements as measured by the microscope and the quantum device. So we are really good feedback all around, and really a device in its own space. There's nothing close to it at all, and very beautiful as well to use in between the quantum skio eductor QUEX sessions for clients. So it just enhances your healing purely because the wearer of the device is in a potentiated quantum field compared to how they would be just in an everyday life situation. So it will really continue the healing and continue the detoxification and nourishment of the individual, which is just fabulous, I think. So I'm just going to share some of the slides with you that we used at the launch of the pendant. I see there's new people that have joined as well, and you know, that's fantastic because I think you can just catch up now. And as I said in the beginning, these recordings are all actually on the YouTube. So let's just have a look at the slides, and if there are any questions, if I go too fast or too slow, let me know as well. So these were the slides shown at the unveiling of the pendant, and it's a piezo orgon scalar Sherman tachyon biphoton field amplifier, and the real word here is the amplification, because we are all and do all live in the quantum field. So it's a natural thing. The trees, the plants, the soil, the world, ourselves, we're in the quantum field. We come from there, the morphogenic field. But when we're healing in the quantum space with quantum medicine, with devices and so on, it is amplified. Okay, it's a potentiated field. And that means it's sped up, and that means that the scalar wave around you is kind of flicking off the negative aberrant forces and realigning you much, much, much quicker. All right, so let's have a look and see a little bit more here. It was congratulations to Professor Desiree Dumanet for actually bringing this device to us right here and now at this particular point in time. And, you know, she starts off by saying, as we grow, we all learn to act in time and space, and we all have the ability to perceive beyond the present moment into the future with premonitions and back into the past with retro-causality. So those are the words that we use. And then she poses the question, what if we could increase this ability? And this is really what the time crystal is doing. And to feel powerfully present. So humans and animals all have this ability for premonitions. We have a basic instinct. We can sense fear. Most of us think that of the world as a physical world with rules like the rules of a chess game. But she says these rules do not work that way off the chess field. In other words, in the quantum space. So animals also have this precognition and premonition ability. And the example cited here is when the tsunami occurred in the Pacific Ocean. Not one animal, except those who were in cages, died. They all knew. They all got the premonition. They knew, and they moved up. They cleared up to and walked. The elephants, they all went to the highest part of the mountains they could find. And, you know, 100,000 people died. We've lost our basic instinct. We've lost our gut feeling. There's just too much toxicity, distortion in between right now. So, well, what I do in my practice, and everything's geared around this, is to maximize life force, and then to get to the point where people are thinking clearly and living productively. I think that's the ultimate, really. And in that space, we've really sharpened the pencil insofar as our gut feel is concerned, you know, and that is the lower brain down here in the gut, as opposed to the mind itself, which is often full of emotion. So we want to take the emotion out, and this is all in one of our trainings as well. And non-judgmental awareness from a mental point of view, consciousness from the heart point of view, and then awareness from the gut brain. So there's the three brains, all right, the mind, the heart, and the gut. So what we're doing here is we're enhancing and sharpening the ability to make decisions from the gut, which are non-emotional. And this is what the time crystal is doing for us automatically due to the amplification in the quantum field. So I hope this is making good sense to you. And how does this really happen? It's got to do with the yin and the yang. So from an objective point of view, physical and an intermittent reality force, the yin and the yang. They're seen in physical reality what was seen in dreams. So we actually play it out in front of us. What we saw in the dream, what we experienced in the dream is then physically played out in front of us. And that's critical because from a subjective mental point of view, it is our interpretation of reality. The objective one is the actual playing out of what we saw. So the sensing will be more on a subjective level. And this mental force definitely affects manifestation. All right, which moves then to the objective side. So we are able to actualize our dreams, most importantly, and the device provides protection. So that's from negative aberrant forces. It actually sends them back, doesn't allow them to enter your field. So yin and yang give us the ability to see into the future, have these premonitions, expand our ideas, be more in touch with our feelings and emotions, and feel them more, and then be able to affect the past. And if we're following our along the line of the fact that we're living in a continuum, a long continuum, and just depending where we are on that continuum, it's still ours, and we can easily go back to past and easily move forward into the future. So this continuum is the space we're working in and operating in an amplified scalar wave. We're doing it anyway, but we've lost our instinct, basic instinct to do it, and our ability, therefore, to do it. So you get sharpened and heightened awareness of this. And every single person who's bought one of these time crystal devices has commented on this. All sorts of things shift. Your ability to travel is enhanced and the side effects are reduced, for example. Your time frame, your output per 24 hours is expanded. And all in a stillness, in a grounded way. So yeah, just getting back to this continuum, this is what I think we need to understand, that we're on this moving continuum, and we are reliving and re-experiencing experiences, smells, tastes, emotions all the time. And it's just to make sense of it and join the dots, really. So more to this. This is just Desi's slide talking about the objective reality, which can't be ignored. That's right here, measurable, and then the subjective mental force that interprets the reality. And this mental force can definitely affect, manifest, and actualize dreams and protection. All right. So now we're having a look, what if we can have a greater effect on time and the future? So every time we look into the future, it changes. And this is, I think, the most amazing thing as well. And it's almost as if we have looked at it already. So it becomes into the present. Therefore, we viewed it. Time is like an ocean of currents, which feels like rivers. And as we swim through life, making decisions, turning left or right, or in fact doing nothing, which is even non-action is doing something. This is where the time crystal comes in and resets past, let's just say, decisions that we worked out afterwards were incorrect in actual fact, but we did learn from them. So it will smooth over all of that decision making and our learning from it, and going back to that original decision, and then making a proper choice based on that. And this is really real emotional healing. And it's happening automatically. We're in charge. We're the physician, heal ourselves. We're doing this work. And then we make multiple mass decisions on an hourly and a daily basis that affect us. And we just want to heighten our awareness and our sharpness to make intelligent decisions. Now the past, called retro-causality, ability to change this past. So as we're swimming along these rivers, right now we're wanting to make more intelligent decisions, less wrong decisions, shall I put it that way? Although they're never completely wrong, because we do need to learn from them. But wow, in this day and age, if we can increase our ability to make good, intelligent decisions, I think we save a bit of time. Can the laws of physics predict the choices people make? And are the fundamental rules that when everything is set in motion from a given starting point lead us to one possible outcome? And this is this life continuum. And here is the diagram of how the piezoelectric time crystal is designed. And this crystal is put between magnets, two magnets, and then there's a magnetic pull which applies a pressure, and you start getting an oscillating time crystal changing space, and thus reducing what it's called an intertemporally piezoelectric current. Anyway, that's more on the technical side, but literally a magnet is having this effect on the time crystal. And we did one of the trainings on the pineal gland, and inside the pineal gland and many other parts and cells of the body, we already have piezoelectric crystals. We already have them. And one of the first things I noticed when I put on the time crystal was it felt, and I explained this to Desi, it felt like my pineal gland had suddenly switched and it was orbiting in another realm. And what I can put this down to is that the batteries charged. They became charged, supercharged, however you want to call it. It felt as though all the toxins were leaving, and that I now had this super crystallized, purified pineal gland. And of course, the pineal gland is our connection to consciousness. So it was a really an amazing experience. And as I say, these piezoelectric time crystals are in the pineal gland. Most of them are in there, which is what I think makes pineal gland so special. But also in other parts of our body. So we want, because we are electrical beings, you know, we want our batteries charged. We want all of them charged. No flat batteries around here. All right, so that just gives you, you know, a basic simplified summary of what's really happening. And you just get this oscillation, natural oscillation. And then, so how do we use it to affect a change in the past? And she also makes a point that Einstein, he used a block universe framework, which is the E equals mc squared. And he couldn't quite incorporate this time, the past, the present, and the future into his framework. So he called it spooky action at a distance. He knew it was real, but he couldn't accept entwinement. He couldn't accept all of this. So, you know, as usual, Professor Desiree Dubonnet has taken things to the next level. She's rewritten entwinement and quantum. And those of you who've completed the IMUNE diploma course, the 100-hour diploma course, will know all about this and more, because it's the most marvelous diploma to do it ever. You do it in your own time. It's 100 hours. The material is mind-blowing, and it is an expansion of your mind. And especially the anatomy, physiology courses, she's rewritten them. The homeopathy course, she's rewritten as well. Traditional Chinese medicine courses as well. So you really are learning at a higher level. And the way also she teaches with the videos, with the music, with present things in the background, it's just an amazing experience. And I do recommend it to anyone. If you want to, you can book on the 365 Healthy by Choice website and pay then, and Professor Desiree Dubonnet will send you the information, the course. So just to repeat then as well, the time is an ocean of currents. And the time crystal pendant device enables humans to be bathed in an active real-time sea of quantum frequencies. Active real-time, that means it's refocusing automatically with you, interdimensionally, to live at a higher frequency, protect oneself from harmful frequencies, including radiation. And we have got studies to show this, where I've measured it with the quantum devices, before and afterwards. Astounding effects on adrenaline, cortisol, inflammation, hormonal release, balancing, clearing of the hypothalamus pituitary pineal gland. So we've got hard data already, and we're collecting more and more. So it's doing what we want, as I said to you, silently in between the quantum sessions to keep the body's frequency potentiated, propelling people forward as the future is created from a powerful present position. And that's amazing, and what we all need right now, where we are busy carving our way into the future, our purposes, our vocations, where we're going, what are we doing, making those selective, intelligent decisions, not following the sheep, making those individual decisions. Once we've made the individual decisions, that's when the collective consciousness, the collective shift will happen. So very, very exciting, I think. And then let's just go to the next one. Again, so this is this time. You see, it's like an ocean of rivers that intersect and shift and spiral, vortex, and come out of the vortex and move on. And this is us. We're not stuck in a steadfast way. Here's her diagram also. As you flow through the river Tao, you will need to make decisions. So even non-action is an action. So we want to have more positive outcomes. And then, so we have a free energy protection from negative radiation. I talked about that. And the protection from the non-life forces, then the entropy, the stuff that draws your electrons out, that leaves you flat. So this protection is vital right now. I'm really seeing really, really horrendous pictures and visuals on my microscope on a daily basis, literally. Just across the board, people who've injected, non-injected, particularly people living in the cities. It's really, 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 there's an enhanced toxicity level, clotting levels. And as I said before, if I'm doing a live blood assessment here, I need to work quite quickly, because this time crystal starts working and the blood starts declotting, deagglutinating in front of me. So it starts opening up just because of the scalar wave. So that's living proof. Also, that's what's happening. But I have to look very quickly, because otherwise it starts doing this. But again, edification of the power. So it's doing this to my red blood cells and every single cell in my body 24/7, and those who are also close to or wearing the devices too. Lovely. So the clearing of negative life force energy and raising the charge, the body's charge, most important, our voltage. Declutters the body, increases the charge, and then we get the reported feelings of the scalar wave adjusting. They're palpable physically, objectively, they're realized subjectively, and enabling us to have greater clarity through the premonitions, and then using that gut brain. That's the bottom brain. So you've got the mind, the heart, and the gut brain. And the gut brain is the non-emotional state, conscious, non-emotional, non-judgmental awareness. That's where we're aiming. All right, so the time crystal activates the opening of portals, and Desi's talked about this a lot. The chakra portals in particular into the different dimensions. So if you use it at the brow, you'll see into the future. If you use it in the heart, it'll enhance feelings. In the stomach, it enhances past, present, and future. Activates the gut-brain connection, critical. Gut feelings are better feelings, more pure, more accurate. And then there's a reported sense of being more powerfully present. Potentiated clearing. The time crystal electric device is further potentiated with if you're using medicinal mushrooms, the reishi, the chaga, the shiitake, things like bee pollen, royal jelly, hoshuwu, the foti, the Siberian ginsengs, all the very high frequency blue-green algae, chlorella, spirulina, those highly nutritious, highly powerful foods, nutrients, will only enhance the power of the time crystal and our learning and our understanding and our decision making. So 365 Healthy by Choice, we have all of these products readily available. To clear away negative entropy, to clear away and to raise the life force of any individual. That's what we're aiming for, because life force is our current. It's the chi, it's the prana. So that's our currency, that's our energy, that's where we're heading. So this is what I was saying earlier about individual and collective transformation. So individually you make less Daisy calls them stupid decisions and more intellectual ones. And that then becomes effective. You affect other people too, especially when you're they're in your space. Groups and teams will experience more non-verbal sharing and caring. And this is the key as well, because when we're in interdimensional space as well, it's not verbal. So that's very important as we collectively move to a higher life force. It's a new type of matter, independent of time, in the scalar field, operating at the biological interface. This living energy interacts with your energy, so you become part of the time crystal battery. All right, let me just plug this in here. All right, so those of you who are wanting to get a feel of what a vortex is and what a scalar wave is. So if you can imagine our body as the core, the vortex, you have the golden mean spiraling down and another golden mean spiraling up, the yin and the yang. Okay, and then you have a scalar wave on the outside of this vortex shooting up and another one shooting down. That is a scalar wave. It is non-linear. And all the teachings by Professor Desiree Dubonnet are about healing being non-verbal and non-linear. And this is what a scalar wave does for us. And that's what it happens when you connect it to the device, having a healing session and the software, and when you are wearing your time crystal device. Okay, so very important that. So here again is the picture. So there's a scalar wave, a circular scalar wave on that side and a circular scalar wave on that side. And you have the golden mean flying down and another golden mean moving upwards, the yin and the yang. So it's a free energy battery with a sustained scalar wave. This battery will last for over 300 years. So it's almost an heirloom piece. But you shouldn't shower with it or soak in the bath with it, or you can run with it and that kind of thing, do some exercise and that, but really don't drench it in water at all. It's a living electrical device. Beautiful. And there we have the device with the gold and silver coloration of the crystal inside. And as I said, it's self-charging for well over 300 years. Protection of negative bioelectric magnetic radiation and other non-life forces. Stimulate your body to deal with these forces, turning positive entropy into negative entropy. Fortifies the body electric. It gives us charge. And Desi said before that 6 out of 7 people have chronic fatigue. They have hypoadrenia. Their battery is flat. You can't fix a cell phone or operate it when it's flat. It's the same thing with the body. We've got to charge the body first. And that's what we spend our time doing. But we can actually be charged on a 24/7 basis with a scalar wave time crystal. Nobody wants a flat battery. Nobody wants hypoadrenia. Every single COVID case I see, there's hypoadrenia. There's other things too, but just because we're talking about it. The battery's flat. You can't. That means the immunity is low too. It's very hard to heal, very hard to pull out of a situation like that. It's a collapse situation. So here's our human torsion field, and this is giving you now a really good picture. So this is all enhanced and magnified and speeded up using the scalar wave time crystal device. And here is our time crystal device with all the life force. And where do you get this time crystal? Order now at this launch price. We've got a couple left at this price, and then there will be a price increase. So I do suggest that you get your time crystals now if you want to. There's also bulk options. We also have affiliate options, and that's for people who would like to sell and market the devices, and practitioner options where they want to buy a bulk order and use it on their clients. Perfect. And you can even set up 365 branches that assist with not only the time crystal, but also nutrients, the high frequency medicinal mushrooms, reishi, chaga, shiitake, lion's mane, cordyceps, blue-green algae, chlorella, spirulina, pollen, royal jelly, propolis, the much higher vibrational foods. So that's where you get it, 365healthybychoice.com. There's a wonderful page there with loads of information, some of the videos, some of the PowerPoints as well. And that's the end of our presentation. So I hope you've enjoyed this, the representation, and just collectively, those of you who are wearing it, those who are interested in buying one, I hope I've just put it into context as well, what we're really doing. It's totally 100% natural, okay? You know, you can walk around with the light half dim, or you can brighten the light. Why not brighten it? You've got a device, you've paid for it, you have it for life, and your family. As I said, the point is, you know, why wait? Why allow these negative aberrant forces to affect your blood? And as I said, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in vaxxed people, and I'm seeing it in non-injected people too. It's really, really amazing what's going on out there. It's amazing what I'm seeing. And it's amazing also when I'm picking up, and I'm sure the other practitioners too, on the devices. It's amazing when you have a look at the funguses and bacteria and viruses and toxins and radiation levels right now. So we have a wonderful solution needed now more than ever before. And thanks again to Professor Desiree Dubonnet for getting there before anyone else as well, and bringing something to us that we need right now. So if there are any further questions, let me know. And it's always an honor and a privilege to be here to address all of you. And thank you for coming through. I just want to repeat for those people who weren't here earlier when I started. Daisy called me earlier and she couldn't make this evening for the training. So she's shifted the training to tomorrow, Thursday, the 4th of November, 7 o'clock South African time. And I will post it. Okay, so it will be a different link. I normally have my Jane Live. So I'm going to use my Jane Live link. And because of the people that normally come in anyway, and we will have the training session then. Okay, enjoy the rest of the day, and remember about life force. It's our currency. That's what we trade in. We trade in life force, and we do anything we can 24/7 at that split second. And we ask the question: is this raising my life force or taking my life force away? In other words, is it neg entropy, raising the life force, or is it entropy? Is it taking my energy? Is it absorbing all my electrons? More tomorrow. Bye.